So there's a good chance that by now you've probably heard of the Tactacam Reveal cell camera. New for 2021 is the Tactacam Reveal X. So last year was the original. This is the revamped version for this year. They have changed a few things, and I'd say the number one seller on this particular camera is price point. To get a cellular camera that sends pictures to your phone for right around $100 to $120 is pretty incredible. If you're looking for the absolute most high-end cell cam, this won't be it. However, most people are just looking to have pictures sent to their phone from the field in real time, and this camera does it. I have two of the originals, and they both do really, really well, so I figured why not snag one of these, and I was lucky enough to do so, and maybe you have been too. I have had this one out of the box, kind of looked it over just to see what was new, what was the same. Some things that really stuck out to me: the antenna is definitely revamped a little bit. The one from last year kind of swiveled a little bit more than this one does. This one is meant to push back and lock into the bark on the tree. That way, I know a lot of people had problems with critters such as raccoons and stuff getting on the old antenna and breaking them off. They tried to fix that for this one. What I've had luck with is putting them on some sort of mount that keeps them either completely off of a tree or out away from the tree. I use a stick and pick. Does really, really well. I don't have any problems with raccoons. Some people have birds on trees where they'll peck at the sensor or the lens and break those. Again, I don't have those issues when I have them off of a tree completely. Another thing that's completely new, there is no screen on this camera. The old one had an LCD screen. This one, they've done away with that. So this camera has Wi-Fi built into it. You connect it to your phone, and instead of having a screen on here, you can connect to your phone and just use your phone screen. I think that's really cool because it kind of eliminates just more things to go wrong with the camera. Another thing that I really, really like about this is you can test where you have your camera pointed. You could do that with the old one. You could send a test photo by hitting the OK button. This one you can also do that, except rather than sending a test photo, you can just look on your phone as it's connected to Wi-Fi and see exactly where that camera is pointed. I think this system is better now because on the old one you actually had to press the inside button on that camera, meaning that you couldn't have the camera completely latched shut. So in order to press that button, you had to have the camera open, and it would be pointed slightly off from where you wanted to actually have it directed. So you couldn't get it perfect. This one, you're really going to be able to do that. Also, on your phone, it'll show a red line in the middle of that camera, and that kind of gives you a gauge of height of where you want that camera pointed. I know a lot of people that miss pictures on these cameras. It's really due to how they have it pointed. They have it either too high, mainly, sometimes too low. That's not usually as much of an issue, but usually they have it too high and it's missing those target pictures. Other than that, they redesigned the battery pack on this one. Before, you would open the camera, 12 batteries go on the inside. Now, it's a battery pack that actually pops out of the bottom of the camera, still 12 batteries that go in it. This camera is supposed to hold battery a little bit better than the old one, which is nice. And what's nice about the battery pack is you can actually pop it down out of the camera while it's still on the tree, rather than a lot of people would have to take the old one off the tree, pop those batteries out, and replace them. So overall, I think they did a good job. I'm excited to get this one out in the woods. I can't necessarily speak in terms of performance on this. So hopefully once I get it out in the field, I can kind of come back and do another review and tell you how it performed out in the field. This also can be hooked up to a external battery pack, a solar panel, rather than having to use batteries, because 12 batteries is quite a bit. And unless they last a long time, it does get pretty costly. So all in all, you would have the camera, depending on where you get it, it's usually right around $119. That's what I paid for this one. Your data plan depends on what you want to do for that. I know you can do the $8, the $12 per month. Might even be $13. Don't quote me on that, but depending on what you want to do, you can do unlimited photos or $500 per month. I think you can even do $250 per month. So you have options, And then on top of that, you're going to have batteries and an SD card as well. Those are probably your only cost associated with this camera. So all in all, you're in for much less than a $400 or $500 cell cam. And if you're hunting public land or land where you might be a little more concerned about putting a high-end camera out there, I think this one does the trick for much cheaper. And even if something happens to it, you can pretty much replace it for a quarter of the cost of some of those other cameras that are out there on the market. So again, I'm excited to get this one out there, test it out, and hopefully I'll be coming back with another review and tell you guys what I think of it.